Hello everyone, it's been a little while. I'm just trying to very quickly figure out how botched the audio is, because I feel like everything's a little loud and my voice is a bit quiet. I don't know. We'll go from here and we'll see what happens, because yeah. Alrighty. So, if anyone was paying attention last time, or forgot, or doesn't recall what we were doing, challenge run, so no free changes to materia or equipment. We basically are only making one change, so that's one item, like equipment piece, so armor or weapon, or one materia changed on one character per boss. So far, we've done the Guard Scorpion, which means we were able to equip Barrett with the Assault Gun, so to sort of bring his attack in line with Cloud's as far as damage is concerned. And from here, we are on the way to Sector 5 to do the second reactor mission, and the target is Airbuster, because of course it is. So, not, the most inventive or crazy challenge run out there. You could do it with no changes to initial equipment at all, which I have attempted before and would like to attempt again. I'm also trying to decide whether or not I keep doing this on the original hardware, or if I allow myself to use the PlayStation 4 release or Switch release, so that I can use the ×3 speed thing just to get through, like, some of the longer loading bits and that sort of thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out from here. We'll see how we go. That's right, Barrett's chewing out the Shinra middle manager. You've seen the news, right? Avalanche says there will be more bombings. Only devoted employees like me would go to Midgar on a day like today. You work for Shinra? The hell you so calm about, Cloud? You busting up my rhythm. Jesse's probably already told you, but there's a security checkpoint at the top plate. It's an ID scan system that checks all the trains, which Shinra is very proud of. We can't use our fake IDs anymore. Good morning and welcome to Midgar Lines. Arrival time at Sector 4 station will be 11:45. That means we've only got 3 more minutes to the ID checkpoint. Alright, in 3 minutes we're jumping off this train. Got it? Hey Cloud, come over here. Let's look at the railway map monitor. I don't know that you've already looked at this with Jesse, and I'm just being me. It's alright, come close there. Warm. Quick, run to the next car. Let's go, keep it up. Woo. smooth. Oh, there we go. Oh, the hell? You want this? Yeah, gimme. Hey, free high potion. Hell yeah. Alright, we clear? I thought Jesse just, like, obviously he was harassing her, but, like, just runs past and still decks the fuck out of him. It's very funny. Wait, come back here, motherfucker. Give me my money back. Ugh. Dun, 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 dun. Upgrading to maximum security. Man, I sort of want to play the remake again. Like, just from the beginning on hard mode to begin with. I might have to buy it on Steam. Scary, huh? Because... Don't go getting your spiky ass hurt. It's only the beginning of the mission. So far, everything's going as planned. It's not going as planned. The reactor's just down this tunnel. Whee! It's not going to be a super long stream this evening. Probably go maybe for an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish. Just because it's a weekday, which means I have to get up tomorrow for work. Do-dun, 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 do-dun. Damn, man, that thing gives me the chills. Whoop. Let's go. Wow. Do 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 do. Dun, dun, dun. Whee! Oh, got a battle. First one in a while, which is good. Oh, just realised I haven't put the thingamajig in the thingy. Well, we didn't get any sleep bubbles, so that's pretty good. Hell yeah, Teeth out there kicking fish. I have no idea. I'm very tired. I did a 1,500 meter swim this afternoon, so apologies if I seem a bit loopy and low energy. There's also something to speak about for like level of comfort streaming solo as well, but it's mostly tired. Yeah, I've been exercising pretty much daily for the last 2 weeks. Part of my commitment to myself to look after myself a bit better. Because anyone who's been watching the show for a while knows that I've talked like about spinal surgery and having problems and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, just my commitment to myself this year is that I'm actually going to really take my health seriously, start exercising, eating way better, all that sort of stuff, and I've been able to make it almost through 2 weeks of consistent exercise and good eating, so starting to feel the difference, which is nice, but not really any sort of major physical change just yet, though I have lost a bit of weight since last October, which is good. I went down the wrong gosh darn ladder. That's how much attention I'm not paying. Normally I can walk someone through this game blindfolded, but that's not the point. Whee! Ooh! I think just in terms of like visual fidelity as well, I might have to change to... Oh no, maybe it's just the monitor that I'm using, like looking a bit weird. There we go, yeah, a bit brighter on my end now. Like, looks a little bit more like I remember it looking. No change on your end though, hopefully, which is good. Since the last stream as well, I've also done a little bit of work in my room. And I now have my keyblades and my Buster Sword mounted. Which, personally, I think is pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, that's just me being a giant nerd, so... Oh well. Nyong. Doo-dun doo-dun. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-dun doo-dun. Alrighty, we're not going to do a save, we're just going to grab this item, just save a bit of time. Later. See you, Biggs. Yeah, don't you beep at me. Sorry, my neighbours are beeping at someone. Either that or it was something in my house beeping. Don't know what it would be, but... Whee! Oh, yeah. Running through the reactor, gonna blow some stuff up. Might be worth doing a little bit of grinding, maybe? Because, like, without being able to change stuff, we're going to have to rely on base stats a lot. So, going to have to be sensible about what we do. And that's another thing. Like, if we have to grind a little bit, it would probably be better doing that on the ×3 thing through the, like, re-release. But, I don't know. We'll see how we go. If I get to, like, mid to end of Disc 1 and I start to have problems, then we'll maybe reevaluate. Ah, whoops. Shwee! Whoop, whoop. I guess part of this is also like I'll try not to sort of comment and spoil and talk about things too much plot-wise, just on the off chance that someone who decides to watch either the VODs or join the stream at any point who hasn't, you know, sort of looked into or heard of or played through or knows anything about the story, just so that it's not like spoiled at any point. I, like, personally, probably because of a bias of mine being, you know, this is my favourite game ever, I find it sort of hard to believe that someone could be into video games, even to, like, a casual degree, for more than a couple of years, who doesn't know about, like, the big twist in FF7. Well, several of them. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's, again, probably a bias of mine because I'm so familiar with it. But yeah, anyone who's, like, even moderately interested in video games, like, should have heard about this because of how famous it is. So, I don't know. The world is very different to when I was growing up, of course. Makes me sound very old. Alright, let's go. Ugh. Oh, didn't even get the screen to load in before I got into a battle. That's pretty fun. Bonk. Brr. Oh no. Punch, punch. No, don't drain HP, you dingus. Stab. Slash. There we go. I'm just thinking forward thinking about, like, the rest of the game, and I think an initial challenge run, an initial equipment challenge run, sorry. So, like, not changing anything at any point. Probably only slightly... not slightly. Like, probably quite a bit harder than what we're doing, which is one change per boss killed. But it does mean we're going to have to be pretty smart if we want to make certain fights and certain parts of the game less challenging. Like, for example, there's a fight later where Cloud has to fight someone solo, and so does Barret. And if we can't freely change materia and put, like, healing magic on them, means we have to rely on items, which means we have to worry about Gil a little bit more. But we also may not have to worry about Gil as much because we won't be buying weapons and armor. So, I mean, we will still be buying weapons and armor, I guess, but we won't be buying them, like, freely. It'll be very purposeful decisions based on what we're changing per boss. So, yeah. I think, realistically, the next change I'm going to make is to put healing magic on a character. So once Airbuster is down, we'll put healing on someone. And then when something happens, we will move the equipment or magic materia from one person to another, just as a, well, we would have had this anyway, but plot demands X. So, yeah. Next choice is already by default going to be we'll put healing magic on someone, because getting through it without that is going to be quite difficult. Oh, seeing some weird enemy formations as well. Like, I don't recall seeing the special combatants appear in like a 4-man formation previously, so it's pretty interesting. Got some limit breaks, which is good. We'll save those for the boss. So yeah, we'll chuck some potions out because it's getting a bit dicey. You will also have to deal with throughout the entire stream and every time I stream doing this one, unfortunately. Well, maybe not unfortunately, but it might just be annoying. I do like to doot-de-doo and sing along because the soundtrack in this game is just amazing. Cloud's gonna need some MP soon. Doodaloo, doodaloo. Alrighty. Ooh, got a grenade. That's pretty handy. That'll be good for later when we don't have magic on a particular encounter. See, that's thinking ahead about stuff that's coming up, trying to sort of plan out how it's going to go, but I guess I'm not really going to know how it will go until it happens, so... Got an ether. Let's do the button puzzle. That's not really a puzzle, it's more like a, hey, do this timing thing. Whoops. I was hoping to get this first try, but I wasn't paying attention. There we go. First try. Ooh. Alright. Let's give Coreldo some magic. Magic? MP. MP restoration. Alrighty. This way. Wait, no. Oh shit, soldiers. And by soldiers I mean infantrymen. What the hell's going on? It's a trap. Boom, boom, Why is the president here? He's here to make sure that the illegals are deported. It's probably a little bit fresh and not funny. Made arrangements for a playmate for you all. And not the fun kind. Cloud, we gotta do something about him. And now we get the first instance of the boss theme, which is amazing. This fight's much too short, though. Much too short. Big bomber. I was hoping that he would have stayed turned around because that wasn't worth the damage anymore. But this one will be. Whatcha? So for anyone wondering why Cloud's Limit Break then did so much more damage than previous instances of it being used early in the game, enemy positioning is a thing, and so is player positioning. Even though you don't have active control of your characters in terms of movement, the game works on like a back and front row system. So for enemies that are further away, physical attacks will do less damage because they, they're further away, therefore it's like less efficient for your characters to go up and punch them or whatever. Same thing applies for your characters. If they're in the back row, they'll take less damage from attacks. Magic is irrelevant. They base damage for that purely off of their own calculations and elements and all that sort of stuff. But it doesn't take the distance or like positioning of your characters into account when it calculates for damage for that. But yeah, so like Barrett, his attack is always going to be doing the same amount of damage in terms of like enemy positioning because it's a ranged attack, and that counts for all ranged attacks in the game. But yeah, so like Tifa, Cloud, and anyone who wants to run up and get close, all of their attacks do less damage from the back row versus the front row. But also back attacks are critical hits, so like they'll always do more damage because the enemy's defense isn't typically at the back of their character model. So yeah, poor explanation, but hopefully it made some kind of sense to you. Oh shit. Cloud's probably fine. Yeah, we'll get a limit break out of that. And that should finish the fight, honestly. Like, 2 of Cloud's limit breaks from the back should be more than enough to finish this fight. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that did finish the fight, but yeah, that was a bit weird. Hell yeah. Titan Bangle, got a bit of Gil. Alrighty, so bear with me while I do some shenanigans. Because I'm just going to go ahead and we'll go through this little bit of context and story first, and then while the cinematic's happening, I'll start dicking around with stuff. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so yeah, while that's happening, I will go ahead and change some bits and pieces around. Because the next target, now we've beaten Airbuster, is going to be apps, I think. Yeah, next boss is apps. And that's what we're going with. Can you hear me? Yeah. You could get by with just skin knees back then. What do you mean by back then? What about now? Can you get up? What do you mean by that time? What about now? Don't worry about me. You just worry about yourself now. I'll give it a try. Oh, it moved. How about that? Take it slow now, little by little. Hello, hello. I know. Hey, who are you? Hello? Do do do. Da, 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 da. Why can't I get this to work? There we go. Okay, I'm a dingus. There's literally a refresh button. Alright. So the change list, we're going to edit that quickly. The change list is going to be... most recent change. Equipped Aerith with Cure Materia. Save. And then we do one of these. There we go. Cool. Sorry about the delay. I wanted to make sure that that stuff was working because I spent a long time coding and making sure these things looked appropriate. Because I did a TAFE course a few years ago where I was doing like cybersecurity and like networking and all sorts of other bits and pieces to do with IT. And yeah, why is this so quiet all of a sudden? Hello, Dylan. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hello, Dylan. How are you? Thank you for joining. You're gonna have to let me know if the game audio versus my mic is like off and too quiet and too loud because I've just fucked around with it and I wasn't sure if it was working properly. Number one still, hell yeah. Flowerbed, is this yours? I'm doing well, thank you. You missed my little sort of tirade about being tired about maybe 15 minutes ago. Over the course of the last 2 weeks, I've started taking my health way more seriously. I have started swimming, like 3 times a week minimum, but I went every day last week, and I've been 3 times so far this week. Eating way better, which is good. So I'm feeling better, but I'm quite tired today because I pushed it to about a 1,500 meter swim. But yeah, I'm doing well. How's your first 2 weeks of January been? So, we meet again. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I remember you. You're a slum drunk. Nah, you were selling flowers. I'm not going to be mean to her. Thanks for buying my flowers. Do you have any materia? Yeah, some. Nowadays, you can find materia anywhere. Return to work this week, gotta get used to a 6 AM wake up now. Currently playing E33, nice! I need to get back to Expedition 33. I started playing it last year when it came out, but personal situation dictated that my brain was elsewhere for a fairly long time until quite recently. I'm probably going to go back to it soon. I just finished, the first game I finished this year was Dead Space Remake, which I hadn't played prior to finishing it, a minute ago. Huge fan of the original. But, yeah, a friend from work lent me the remake, and it was a good time. Some of the changes they made I wasn't super sold on, and I feel like I don't know, I feel like the last chapter was sort of a bit same. I don't know. It was just weird. But, overall, really positive experience, really enjoyed time with it. I also picked up Armored Core 6 again. I played it when it first came out, fell off it pretty hard, and a friend of mine, outside of the show and stuff, picked it up and started playing it quite recently, and was telling me that, he's having a really good time with it. He watched a couple of videos about sort of how things work, and that made it click for him really well. So I did the same thing, and now I'm having a blast with it. But yeah. I hope the something that you're alluding to is all past and clear and okay. Feel free to message me privately if you want to talk about it. It's not something I want you to disclose in public if you're not comfortable doing so, but I'm always happy to chat in DMs and Discord, so, On Xbox, you started playing the first Final Fantasy. Yeah, nice. I saw that the Pixel remasters got put over onto Game Pass, which is cool. Recommend playing through all of them, or at least trying them all once. And yes, because we're playing the original PlayStation version, her name by default is Ares, which kind of sounds nicer in my brain, and it's what I grew up, hearing and saying and enjoying. But yeah, we're gonna go and change it to the correct translation. But yeah. Oh, I'm a jack of all trades. Sorry, bad timing on my part. Cloud, don't let it get to you. It's okay. Don't worry about me. Get me out of here. Take me home. It'll cost you. Well then, let's see. How about one date? Yeah, I can agree. Clair Obscur is... It was very heavy to begin with, and again, my personal situation last year, when I started playing it, it was quite... not relevant because similar things happened to the opening with the Gommage scene and whatever. But, that idea of losing someone and losing something, not necessarily in the same way, someone passing or whatever, but, it was just a bit fresh. So I played it for a little bit, and it got a bit emotionally intense, and I put it down because I didn't have the capacity or mental sort of space to deal with that while I was dealing with my own stuff. So I will go back to it. It won Game of the Year and a multitude of other awards, so it's absolutely worth its salt. But yeah, it was just something that I wasn't ready to play last year, I don't think. So I'm going to give it some time and get back to it when I'm feeling, 100%. But yeah, for now I'm just sort of dotting between playing, the occasional thing here and there. I'm going to try and do this more frequently this year, which was part of my commitment to the show last year. Try and stream at least once a fortnight on Wednesdays, because it's my day off, with occasional, other random streams here and there. But yeah, I think I've played a few different things over the last couple of weeks. Like, I played a bit of a Sonic Gems collection on PlayStation 2, because I was playing Sonic the Fighters with a friend. Obviously, I've been playing a bit of Smash here and there because of the competitive scene that I've joined last year. Vampire Survivors is always a good thing, just to sort of burn a little bit of time. Tetris as well. But yeah, I haven't really committed to a game in a while. So Dead Space Remake was the first one I think I finished in probably about a year. So it was nice to do it. It was nice to be able to sort of turn my brain off and commit and focus on a game, which is what I like to do. It's my favourite hobby. But outside of, work and swimming and all the other stuff I've been jumping around and bouncing between, it's just been a bit, a bit hard to do that. So, but yeah. Alright. Let's chuck Cure Materia on Aerith. Yeah, Tetris is one of those things that I can just pick up and play and put a round or two in. It's one of those things that's just fun. And it's really good for your brain. Like, there are studies that were done that indicate that Tetris is actually quite good for helping repair trauma and PTSD and stuff in your brain. So it's more than just, helpful to your grey matter in the sense that you sort of figure out patterns and puzzles and it makes you a little bit more clever. It's actually just really good for you. So, I'm a huge Tetris advocate. Oh, that's good. I think playing happy games is probably a sensible decision, Especially if you've got stuff going on, you don't want to play anything that's a bit too heavy or too emotionally intense. When you're dealing with your own stuff, it's very hard to sort of put that on the back burner if you don't have something different to take up some space. So, yeah, nice. Yeah, that's cool, man. I never got super into the sim games like Roller Coaster Tycoon and stuff and park building stuff. I love watching people who are good at them play them and manage parks and stuff, but after a certain point it just gets a bit what's the word I'm looking for? It gets a bit overwhelming, like having to micromanage stuff. Which is weird because I like micromanaging, like RPG characters and all that sort of thing. So you'd think if I just reframed it a little bit, it would probably change my opinion of those kinds of games, but yeah, they're not for me. And that's fine, not every game is for everyone. Damn. Hold on a minute. I'm going to try and throw a barrel at you. Push the barrel. Whee! Bonk. Yeah, no worries, man. You focus on that. Thank you for just sitting around and chatting and watching, I appreciate the viewership. Hold on a minute. I'm going to throw another barrel down there. Thanks, Cloud. Exactly. Play what you enjoy what you want. As long as it's not harming anyone, it shouldn't matter, you know? Tomorrow's show is going to be a fun one in terms of cool pickups and reveals and bits and pieces, but also first show of the year, so we're going to talk like predictions and new game club lists as well, probably. I think we're going to maybe discuss Fantasy Critic as well, which will be fun. Realistically, in the next hour, we can probably get to and some of the way through War Market. Thanks, Cloud. Yeah, nice. Have to see if I can make a big enough lead question-wise this year to not have someone pick me to the finish like they did last year. They're the Turks. They're an organization in Shinra that scout for possible candidates for soldier. This violently? I thought they were kidnapping someone. They're also involved in a lot of dirty stuff on the side. Spying, murder, you know, the works. Then, let's go! Yeah, the music in Clair Obscura is fantastic. But so is Final Fantasy VII, if that's what you meant. But I'm assuming you mean the game you're playing. Let's go, bodyguard. I'm pretty sure that Sandfall Interactive just released like a vinyl collection for Expedition 33, which if I had a record player, I'd probably buy. My house is this way. Yeah, we should probably do a save. Alrighty. Get out of here, Mr. Thief. Stealing my gear or my things. Thief. 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 guy in the pipe's a weird one. Yeah, it's because he's a fucking loony who's been poisoned by Marco. This guy are sick. Ooh, God, can you help him? No, I'm not a doctor. Man has a tattoo. I think it was the number 2. Whee! Alright, let's go steal some gil from a child. And we'll also grab the poster for... well, one of the posters. I took 5 gil. Heh. Turtles Paradise number 1. Alrighty. So Turtles Paradise is a location later in the game. And if you find all of their flyers, you get a present when you go there, which is kind of cool. And it's going to be super helpful for a run where we're not going to be able to manipulate stats or equipment much, because it will help. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Alright. Let's go to Aerith's house. We'll quickly go and grab the items in the garden first. Cover materia, which no one really is going to use. Got an ether, which is going to be handy because we'll be relying on Cloud's magic a lot for damage. I'm home. Sector 7 far from here. I want to go to Tifa's bar. Is Tifa a girl? Yep. A girlfriend? Fuck yeah. How nice. I'll show you the way. Mom, we're going out again. Bye. Oh, good gracious. Oh. Man, that swim and the hour walk that I did to get home is gonna kill me. You're gonna have to specify what you mean, Keebs Reds, because if you're in here being a bigot, I'm gonna ban you straight away. So either clarify what you mean by that right now, or bye. Cool. Bye. Apologies for having to ban someone straight away. Yeah. I don't know why my sexual orientation is anyone's business, but that's what the context for that was. So, yeah. Don't ask stuff like that. It's none of your business. Poor Cloud's mum. Oh, I shouldn't say poor Cloud's mum, that might be a spoiler. Oh, no, it shouldn't be a spoiler. Yeah, no, it's probably a spoiler. Whoops. You should get an older girlfriend, one that'll look after you, because that's not feeding into the patriarchy at all. Alright, time to sneak out of the house and go somewhere else. I also think, if anyone can see it, you should be able to, because your screen's bigger than the ones I'm running off of right now. But Cloud's face as a character model here, super adorable. Like, he looks way more chibi than he should. Sector 7 is past Sector 6. I should be fine by myself. Yay, generally should be. Mr. Member of Soldier Man. Time to leave. Whee! Ruff, ruff. What the fuck? Crossed him up right earlier. I tried to sneak out and get away from you, you dingus. Can we get through here without an encounter? Let's hope so. Victory lap. I guess this is goodbye. You gonna be alright on the way home? Oh no, whatever will I do? Isn't that what you want me to say? See her home? Yep, let's go home. I can't believe this park is still here. What rank were you? Huh? Rank? You know, in soldier. Oh, I was first class. The same as him. The same as who? My first boyfriend. You were serious? No, but I liked him for a while. I probably knew him. What was his name? It doesn't really matter. You're basically him but blonde. It's weird. Oh, hey, back there? Tifa! girl on the cart was Tifa? Where was she going? She looked kind of odd. Let's go find out. Wait, damn it. Why do all the people in my life keep making their own choices? This place is scary in a lot of ways, especially for a girl, so we've got to find Tifa fast. Go away. Leave me alone. Go away. Blech. Alrighty, so we're going to do a little bit of a speed run. Not in the sense that like I'm going to do any skips or anything, but we're just going to... Because I know the plot and the order to do things in. So we're just going to run backwards and forwards. We're going to grab the bare minimum, maybe. Yeah, we're going to get the bare minimum so we can just sort of blitz through. And if we get the bare minimum, it means a bit more combat for Cloud. So a bit more experience, which is probably a good thing. Because it means we won't have to do maybe like an excessive amount of grinding. And I think if we do these extra fights and get Cloud to do the murderizing of these people, he might get his second limit break early. I haven't been keeping track of... how many enemies he's killed, or how many times he's used Braver. But, yeah, we're going to have to figure that out as we go. Honestly, like, as we go through, like, battles with even normal enemies and sort of the later bosses might just become battles of attrition where we're, like, healing and waiting for limit breaks to happen to do efficient damage. At least until some of the spells that we'll have equipped get, like, more powerful throughout the game. And then, obviously, depending on, like, the choices we make as well. I'm probably going to do, not, like, a huge amount of research, but I'll probably just, like, plot out what the major bosses are for the story. And then have a sort of, like, think about what changes I can make to make certain things more efficient. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Alone, we need to dress you up like a girl then. What? Yeah, you know what? We can probably get to the next boss. So we'll do that. We'll get to the next boss, we'll save, and then we'll see how we go. Into a shop, be like, give me a dress for a man. But my dad makes all the dresses. He's drunk. Go help him. Okay. Excuse us, are you the father of the girl at the clothing store? I own the clothes shop, but I ain't your father. I didn't say that. Make me some clothes. I don't make men's clothes, and I don't feel like making anything right now. Cloud, go and have something to drink. You know, mister, he always said that just once he'd like to dress up like a girl. That's why I wanted a cute dress for him. A tough-looking guy like that. So, how about it? Will you make him one? Might be interesting. I was getting a little bored just making regular clothes. Then you'll do it for us? Yeah, alright. What kind of dress do you want? Something that feels soft, and something that shimmers. And now we go to the gym. Maybe? No, we don't go to the gym. We go back to the dress shop, and then we get the dress, we put it on, and then it needs a wig, and then we go to the gym. Yeah, there we go. So we go in here, we're going to buy the special, buy the medicine. Seven a gill. Nom 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 nom. Okay, let's go buy the digestive medicine. Give that to the man pooping himself. Received key item, digestive. When I was younger, because I'm from the UK, I always assumed that was a biscuit for some reason. Because, you know, McVitie's digestive biscuits and all that. Where am I going? Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I'm on the wrong way. Need to go to the dress shop. Is this the dress shop? Can't remember. How do I put this on? I thought you might, so I talked to my friend about getting one. Go to the gym, you'll find a lot of people there like you. What do you mean, like me? What did you tell him, Aerith? Doesn't matter, we got a pretty dress. Alright, off to the gym we go. Alrighty, hey Dylan, are you still listening? Need an opinion, considering whoever else is watching this has been particularly quiet. Big bro, the only way you're gonna get cuter is if you can beat Big Bro. Let's do squats. Alright, we'll beat you out of this gym. He had 17 squats and you had 20. You're really something. Okay, I'm a man of my word. Received key item, blonde wig. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Bonk. care of the wig. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go straight to the mansion, and if Cloud doesn't get picked, we will deal with it. Could be more experience for Cloud, might not be, depending on who gets picked, but it's all good. I also think it's really interesting that, like, we go to a dressmaker and we say, hey, my big burly, well, not big and burly, he's Cloud's a bit of a twink, honestly, but, you know, muscle-bound Cloud, who doesn't have, like, the figure of a woman, is just like, hey, make me a dress, and the guy doesn't take any measurements, he doesn't, like, you know, so the guy is clearly super talented and is able to just, like, observe someone physically and be like, yeah, okay, I can do that. Sews it all together in a few minutes. I'm choosing to believe that the dressmaker is a very talented person. Alright, let's go. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Oh. So I should have done the digestive medicine bit before that. That's fine. Hey, you weren't kidding, your friend is cute. Hey, ladies. Sorry, just responding to a message quickly. Let's go find Tifa. Why are you dressed like that? What are you doing here? Forget that. What happened after the fall? Are you hurt? Slow down, let me answer. I'm dressed like this because there was no other way to get in here. I'm alright. Aerith helped me out. Aerith did. What are you doing here? Yeah, I'll just plug my ears. When we got back from a number 5 reactor, there was this weird man, so Barrett called him and squeezed some information out of him. That's when Madon's name popped up. Right, Don Corneo. Barrett told me to leave the lech alone. but something's been bothering me. I see, so you wanted to get the story straight from Corneo's mouth. So I made it here, but now I'm in a bind. Corneo is looking for a bride. Every day he gets 3 girls, chooses one of them, and then... well... Anyway, I have to be the girl or I'm out for tonight. Sorry, but I overheard. If you know the 3 girls, there's no problem, right? I guess so, but... we have 2 here, right? No, Aerith, I can't have you get involved. Oh, so it's alright for Tifa to be in danger? No, I don't want Tifa in... Is it alright? I grew up in the slums, I'm used to danger. Do you trust me? Yes, thanks, Miss Aerith. Call me Aerith. Hey! It's time, ladies, the dawn is waiting. Told you not to wander around. I tell ya, women nowadays. Okay. Pretty sure we didn't do enough to get Cloud picked, so there is going to be a little bit of combat happening, which is good. My choice for tonight is this little beauty. Because I ain't interested in a bunch of scrubs like you. It's one of my favourite lines in the game. It's so good. What a man! Get him! Kill the basic ones, that's fine. I need to rest my magic then, which is good. Probably not anywhere close to getting the second limit break, I don't think. I don't think we've killed enough stuff. Or used a limit break enough. I normally have cross slash by this point though when I play usually, but I also play a little bit more gung-ho when I'm not doing challenges, so... I've also just been informed my microphone is much too low, so I've adjusted the volume to hopefully make up for that. Much to my chagrin, because, yeah, I got distracted and now I need to use a bunch of potions. Ugh. Boop-a-doo. Sorry, something just like flew across my room and I don't know what it was. Alright, anyway. Let's go. Go grab Aerith, go grab Tifa, do a boss fight, and then that's probably going to be it for the stream for the night, because it's been about 2 hours, I think. How long have we been going for? It'll be fine. Oh dear. I guess the best way to soften what is kind of actually like a really creepy and gross scene of like, you know, a girl being like chased by a dude in a dungeon and another guy, well, another girl, Cloud, put into a room full of dudes who clearly have not so polite intentions, is to make them all A, dead, and B, make one of them stupid. Which is what Koch was just talking about then, saying he wants to get a cute girl. Don't worry, I'm single. Feel better now? No, I'm not asking about that. Wait a minute. No, not yet. Boing. What did your assistants find out? Talk. If you don't tell us, I'll chop them off. What? I made him find out where the man with the gun arm was, but that's what I was ordered to do. Ordered by who? Talk. If you don't tell us, I'll rip them off. Wah! It was Heidegger of Shinra, head of public safety maintenance. The head of public safety maintenance? Did you say Shinra? What are they up to? Talk. If you don't tell us, I'll smash them. I think they did this scene in remake so well. Do 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 do. Alrighty. So that's our next objective, which is to go back to Sector 7, deal with the slums, deal with the plate being tampered with. But we're also about to do our next boss fight, which is generally kind of easy. Oh, goodness. Ugh. What's the problem, Reeve? You want out? No. But as head of the Urban Development Department, I've been involved in the building and running of Midgar. That's why. Reeve, you should flush those personal problems in the morning. The mayor's against this anyway. Mayor? He sits in this building all day feeding his face, and you still call that a mayor? It's not his fault that Shinra have basically taken over and acts as the government. Now, if you'll excuse me, sir. You're tired. Why don't you take a couple of days off and go somewhere? Okay. Anything else? Talk to my secretary. We'll destroy Sector 7 and report that Avalanche did it. Then we'll send him a rescue operation care of Shinra Inc. Hehehe, this is perfect. Go quickly get the item, then we'll talk to Tifa first to increase her relationship value so we get to go on a date with her later. Battle time. Just a normal battle though, nothing crazy, hopefully. A couple of turtles will be fine. Alright, let's murder some turtles. Even though they're actually Sahagin, but that's not the point. They look like turtles. Boink! Hell yeah. Okay, got a couple of potions from it, which is good because I need to heal. Well, the worst is over. No, it's not. Say hello to apps. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Never mind. Too used to looking at the shorthand for applications, I guess. again, because it's a super early game fight and, you know, you don't have a lot of stuff already, they don't make it too challenging. Like, it looks a bit scary, especially if it's your first time playing, like with the big AoE damage and stuff. But it's really nothing to stress about. Like, at one point, the boss starts damaging himself with the tidal wave as well, so it's like, you know. Do a cheeky little heal with a limit break. Why not? Yeah, there's really not a lot to sort of talk about in this fight, unfortunately. We'll probably start seeing him. Yeah, so this is the form of the tsunami that will, like, actually do damage to everything. So again, because it came from behind that time, it did more damage to us all, because attacks from behind do more damage. Oh no, Aerith's been made sad. There we go, boss done. Cool. Alrighty, we'll run along and grab, I believe it's the steel materia, which is in the sewer. And we're going to put that straight on Tifa, because there are a lot of cool items and things that we can get which will make parts of the game later more manageable if we've got steel. So, yeah, we're going to keep it handy, and there's not really anything else we can change at this point, I don't think. I don't have any new weapons to change out for anyone. I've got no armor. Oh, I've got the Titan Bangle, so I could put that on someone, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we will need to make some consideration for equipment later in terms of weapons and armor. But not to the point that, you know, we're going to have to go crazy with, like, kitting everyone out 6 bosses later. It's going to be a case of make 1 or 2 major considerations to make some fights possible. And we'll sort of go from there and see how things go. But like I said, I'm not going to do a deep dive. I'm just going to, like, from memory, write down the bosses that I can recall that we'll be doing. And sort of maybe do a little bit of planning and see how it goes. Man, this thing's just not dying. Sitting on a tidy nearly 4,000 gil as well, which is pretty good, considering, you know, we haven't done any spending yet, so may need to very shortly. So steel is going on to Tifa. We'll just quickly update that as well. There we go. Alrighty, let's get out of the sewers. We'll hit the save point, and then that's probably the stream done for the night, I think. Oh. Probably save potions just for a little bit longer, because we could use those. See if these guys have got anything to steal. Oh, God, excuse me. I'm starting to think that maybe... Oh no, it would say if they didn't have anything, it would say doesn't have anything. So I guess we'll see what happens on this attempt. I'm very glad I put that potion on, because, yeah, if not, I think Cloud might have died just then. Alright, that makes survivability while we dick around with stealing a little bit more manageable. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna kill it. It's a lot of time to waste. I think the most important question... Ooh, Hyper. Excellent. That'll cure Sadness for Aerith. So, Sadness is a status effect that reduces damage taken, but because of that, the side effect is that it slows down the limit gauge from filling. So, like, instead of the damage being equivalent to how much you take, it's reduced. And if you use Hyper without Sadness, it causes Fury status, and that increases the damage you take, and by proxy makes the limit gauge go up faster when you take damage. So, Sadness is actually a really good status to have, because the damage reduction that you get for having that status in place is what people and speedrunners will use to do, like, you know, speedruns, because it means you can skip encounters and just do boss fights and not die and all that sort of stuff. So it's very, very handy. I think I'm going to leave it on Aerith just to get through this area, because, like, her limit break is pretty much... It's our emergency heal, so we're not going to use her attack much, because she's literally just our healer. But yeah, we'll pick this up next time. I will probably do a stream not 2 weeks from now, but the next day off on a Wednesday I have is 2 weeks from today. Let's have a look. Wednesday the 28th of January. But I will still try and do a stream prior to that at some point next week as well. I'll put, I guess, notice up on the You Don't Know Video Games Instagram page. But also, if you're in our Discord, it'll be in there too at some point. If you are enjoying watching this, or you want to see what else we do, which is our fortnightly live stream for our podcast recording, we do that every second Friday. Next show is on the 16th of January. First one for the year. And you can go over to our website, hackthedino.com, and find our Patreon link if you're interested in supporting us. And by us, I mean me and the other guys who I host with. You can find the link to our Discord, as well as, like, you know, all the podcast apps and all that good stuff. YouTube.com. I think it's youtube.com/ or at You Don't Know Video Games. Hang on, let me check. YouTube.com/at YDKVG for You Don't Know Video Games if you're interested in following along and watching the live stream and do all the good stuff. It's all there. So if you're having fun, please chuck a follow or a subscription or whatever over, and we'll see you next time. But for now, just going to make sure I saved, because I can't remember if I did. And yeah, we'll pick this up again soon, and hopefully I will have a somewhat better idea of what I'm doing and have a little bit more go in me, because I won't be exhausted, but who knows. Thanks for watching. Bye!